Welcome everyone, welcome to another review. This is MetalCanyon and we'll be checking out a game called CloudPunk by Ion Lands. It is a game in a cyberpunk environment, a very sort of cliche cyberpunk environment where it's always dark, always raining, and you've got flying cars everywhere. And you know what? Cliches up or down, that's always something I wanted to play. Ever since I saw The Fifth Element as a schoolboy, I love the idea of, you know, just a giant tall city that goes up into the sky and has loads of flying cars everywhere. I just really like that whole thing. And you know what? Let's go to the options. These are all the options, by the way. That's it. You don't get any graphical options or anything, which is a bit of a shame. But I am going to reduce the volume to 20, maybe even less, because this is one of the very few games that actually gets the volume right in the way that it's really properly loud. So you have to tone the volume down instead of increase it, just to be able to hear anything. Anyway, this is CloudPunk, and you can probably tell right away that it looks absolutely beautiful. Now, obviously, this is pixel graphics, or, well, more technically voxel graphics, I suppose, in a way. And, you know, some people might not enjoy this style, but I absolutely adore it. I think it looks fantastic. I think they didn't go for, you know, too much gimmicky stuff with it. Everything is still nicely detailed. You've got lovely textures that are still in the style, in this sort of retro style. There's lots of glow being used. As you can see, there's also a bit of lens flare here and there. If you move around, there's reflections, even though these reflections, I figured out, aren't really actual true reflections. There's just a texture there that's you know, being reflected, and it doesn't actually reflect the world, but still, you know, it gives you a very good impression. Where am I supposed to go? Oh wow, they've updated the map. That's cool. Actually, no, I take it back. They didn't. I think I have to park on the other side. I parked on the wrong side here, because I don't think I can go through here. So the game consists of two parts. One part is what we're doing right now. Maybe I can go over here. Is on foot, and the other one is flying your hover. Or hova, as a lot of them call it. No, this is just this area. Okay, let's pick this thing up. So, once you're on foot, you can collect various items like this one, which lie about. And you can also talk to people, deliver packages, and so on and so forth. You can also go to merchants, drug dealers, little shops, and buy things. Because we have a certain amount of money up there. We've got 1,535 credits, or whatever they are. And we can spend that on various things. For example, upgrading our apartment, which so far seems to only be a visual thing. And in fact, I haven't really found any use for money just yet, apart from maybe buying an upgrade for your hover, which is pretty cool. So here it is. Or, you know, visual stuff. So, look at all the flying cars. Let's fly around a little bit before we go to that mission. Look at that. So these are highways. You go much faster here. You can also descend and ascend. And you can also crash into other traffic. But this is something I always wanted to play as a kid. Lots of flying traffic everywhere. Actually, ever since I've seen The Fifth Element and Back to the Future 2, I was always enamored with flying traffic in a future city. And especially if it's cyberpunk, because I really enjoy cyberpunk. I've got a booster installed. There's the police, which means that I can fly a lot faster than all the others. Now, oh, wait a second. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's interesting. So, you might have noticed that my camera went all the way around there in an orbit. That's because I figured out last time that there's a button for unlocking the camera, which is X. So I thought, oh cool, I can actually use my mouse to look around. Unfortunately, if you press X, all it does... Oh, come on. Now it doesn't seem to want to do it. Brilliant. Not really sure what that's all about. Anyway. Yeah, there's no way to actually look around while you're flying. I think that's fairly easily done. Corrected by the developer. But yeah, for now, that's impossible. Anyway, it looks fantastic. Everything is in the same style. There's loads of traffic around. There's loads of glowy stuff. Interesting architecture. Obviously, cyberpunky, dystopian. Look at that on the left there. That looks really cool. And there's... the cities are quite big. Oh, wow. That was interesting. Yeah, the cities are quite big. So this is just one of the areas here. That we're flying about, and there's several of these districts. I mean, this large district has districts of its own, so I suppose it's like a sector. And there's several sectors, there's loading screens in between, but they're pretty short. So anyway, enough of me gushing about the graphics and such. You can also crash into vehicles, by the way, and it does seem to damage your hover. I haven't ever seen any visual effects on that. What if I crash into the police? Will that do anything? No. So yeah, crashing is not a big deal, unfortunately. There's also no police presence per se. Every now and then you'll see some police high above, just flying past at speed. But that's it. I would have liked there to be more action here in actual traffic. And of course, when you first start playing this game, you will notice that controlling your hover isn't so easy because it's a bit fiddly. Especially when you're trying to do tight turns and such, but you'll learn how to properly do that soon enough. So this is where we need to go to this club here. Unfortunately, we cannot just park everywhere. We have to park... Now, I parked there before. I suppose we'll have to park here and try to find our way. You can only park at designated spots. And you can also, like I said, repair your hover, upgrade it, you have to get fuel for it, and so on and so forth. Wait a second, this is exactly where I parked before. Anyway, I want to show you basically what the game is all about. You are a CloudPunk driver, and apparently CloudPunk is sort of an illegal delivery service, which delivers everything from apparently bombs to drugs to I don't know what else. But the narrative is a bit weird. I haven't been here yet. Not really sure this is the right way to go. The camera also has a mind of its own. It does a fairly good job of showing you where to go, like this. So now that I'm turning here, it's going to turn the camera as well. But of course, if I were to keep pressing W, she would just start going away from the camera and into the wall. So I'm assuming it's a little bit easier to play this with a controller, but it's not a huge deal. Only every now and then when you're in tight spots, it gets a little bit annoying. And yeah, this is not the way to go. I'm a little bit confused. The map also does not help, unfortunately. Let's pick this up. Now, you do have an inventory which you can open up. I even have a severed hand here. But of course, it's just a android hand, I believe. Or at least an implant. Because this place is full of androids and augmented people and so on and so forth, because it is cyberpunk. But yeah, like I said, the narrative is a little bit strange because despite the fact that CloudPunk seems to be some kind of an illegal thing, our main character, Rania, that you play, seems to be very sort of oblivious to all of these things. She talks to gang members and almost taunts them. Alright, seriously, where do I go here? It does seem like I should be able to reach the destination here. You know, this is the funny thing. I never had this many problems reaching a destination, and I'm at a part where I'm kind of in a hurry. Because I'm being chased by the police, in a way. And I have to go visit Lomo at the Synwave Club. Yeah, this is... You know what? I'm gonna pause this and find my way. Hold on. Oh, wait. I remember. We have to go up here into the club. We have to talk to the bouncer. So, what really surprised me is that there's actually quite a lot of dialogue in the game, and it's all voiced, which I was definitely not expecting from a game like this.
You brought me more juice?
No, Lomo is expecting me.
No juice, no jazz.
I'm not here for the jazz.
Unless you give me a reason you should get in, you ain't getting in.
Does Lomo know you're dealing at the door?
I'm not dealing. Just go in and keep your mouth shut.
Right, this was actually pretty okay, but...
Where are you? I still don't feel good. Are you in danger? Can I help? Is it dangerous?
Yes, it's dangerous. I'm about to meet the most feared criminal in this city, and I have to watch what I say. I need to look cool, so stop calling me on the comm and asking if it's dangerous. Try to keep calm.
Yes, I am calm. Very calm.
Just wait for me. I'll sort this out as best I can. Then you should be unlocked and we can get out of here.
That's actually pretty funny, because that was pretty okay. The dog, by the way, is some kind of an AI that we've had from our childhood, I suppose. And he was in a dog robotic body before, and now we just have him like on a chip. So anyway, what I wanted to say is that the voice acting, and I hate doing this in games. I really hate saying that voice acting is bad, but it's very, very hit or miss in this game. A lot of the times you'll just cringe, and it kind of takes it out of the whole experience. Not to mention that the dialogues can just sometimes keep going and going and going, and you're like, oh my god, just, you know, give it a rest. I want to do something else. So let's talk to Lomo over here.
Rania, good to see you.
What's going on, Lomo? How did I get away from CorpSec?
Why is more relevant to your current situation?
You hacked CorpSec?
Not personally.
How can that be? CorpSec nets are way above the hardlines we can access down here.
This might not be obvious when you look at your surroundings, but I'm a man with significant resources, Rania. I can afford to purchase enough clock cycles from high-level mainframes to get work done when needed. Though, even I had enough second thoughts when I considered the costs involved to save you. But, of course, anything for a friend. I even put Rubric on the case. You've heard of him, of course?
I guess.
I have a lot of names. You'd be familiar with a few.
Rubric will even be helping with the favor I mentioned. Do you remember the favor?
What do you want?
I need someone I can trust to take a package through a null gate.
Why not just let CorpSec arrest me? Null gates scan a vehicle at the molecular level. That's the point. You can't smuggle anything through.
You have the shape of the problem in your mind, but you don't see the details. A null gate can't be fooled, but the person operating it can.
You don't need to know the technicalities, Rania. Suffice it to say, there are patterns which bring us to a higher state of consciousness. But there are also patterns which inhibit our thinking. These recurring, distracting patterns have been cropping up for the CorpSec gatekeepers across all their media feeds for some time now.
You hypnotize them?
That's an old-fashioned way of looking at it. Let's just say their attention has been diluted, and they are more likely to see what we want them to see.
I must be honest, Rania. The chances of you making it through are not 100%.
What percent are they?
About 42.5%.
Before you despair, Rania, know this. If you make this delivery, I'll be in a position to pardon you of your crimes. A clean slate is tempting, no?
And if I walk out of here?
Oh, of course, I will completely understand. It is risky, I admit. But we will keep your vehicle, scrap it for parts. You see, CorpSec are looking for it anyway. And though we won't tell CorpSec where to look for you, I'm afraid they won't struggle to find you. Your offense is not severe enough to send you to the colonies, but you won't work again.
I'll find some way to make money.
No doubt, Rania. I applaud your entrepreneurial spirit. But while you are looking for gainful employment, how long until the dead corp find you?
How do you know about... Fine, I'll do it.
Splendid. Now, about this package. They don't tell you what's in the package at CloudPunk, do they? I'll tell you though, if you ask.
What am I delivering?
You're delivering hope, Rania. That package contains a potential cure for Pallet 3.0.
That's a computer virus, right?
I've said all I can say. Get running, little rabbit.
Oh, it actually ended there. You can see what I say when that they just keep going on and on. And actually, this is a story, a sort of main storyline part, which I don't mind at all. But sometimes where you're doing side quests or, you know, I was transporting a couple of people, they just went on and on and on. And that wouldn't be such a huge problem if the voice acting wasn't so hit and miss. Here it was actually pretty okay. But the bigger problem, I think, is that Rania herself, no offense intended to the person who voiced her, but she's just not that great. And it's difficult to hear the emotions and such when she's trying to do voice acting. It's just a little bit of a shame, I think, especially because everything is voiced. I think at this point, it would be better if things weren't voiced and you could just, you know, go through the text at your own pace. However, I also think that there should be dialogue choices. There are 0 dialogue choices. And like I said, sometimes there's a lot of dialogue. And it's basically like playing an RPG where you have a lot of potential questions you can ask them, but you don't really care about it. So you just say, okay, give me the quest, goodbye. Here, you're asking everything. So it's a bit of a shame that there's no dialogue choices. That's a given. I mean, that's definitely a big shame because I think it would make this game a lot better. I do have to say...
I am nervous. Are you nervous? I am feeling very nervous. I am very surprised you are not nervous right now.
Please stop talking.
I will stop talking about how nervous I am now, even though I really am very nervous.
We'll be fine. The hacker guy, Rubric, says the CorpSec officers won't even notice us.
I didn't like him.
The text will continue, by the way. That's a pretty nice feature. That you don't have to stop to load a different sector or district. Ow.
Me neither, but we have to do this, Chemist. This guy Lomo seems to be a big deal. I don't think we can afford to let him down.
Maybe even after we do this favor, he will ask for even more favors.
Camus, sometimes you can say something clever, but it doesn't make things better. Do you understand?
No.
It's fine. Let's just get through the null gate, then we'll see what happens.
Ouch. Oh, there's the null gate. That was it, actually. Interesting. I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool. Unfortunately, I probably can't get up there. So let's go through the null gate. And see what happens. But yeah, this is the cycle that you'll be doing. Delivering packages and talking to people. Also going to your apartment every now and then. As far as I can tell, there's no combat in the game. There's no actually shooty stuff. Let's go talk to this CorpSec officer. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. There's one voice actor that I really do like. He actually does a very good job, and that's the control guy for CloudPunk. Like an older gentleman sounding alike, and he's very cool.
I'd like to come through.
You know this road leads to the Hollows.
Yeah, of course.
Well, you're gonna have to give me a good reason for coming through here. What's your business?
I'm meeting a friend.
What's your friend's name?
Banks. Rob Banks.
Why does Rob Banks live in the Hollows?
He doesn't live in the Hollows. We're just meeting there.
Why would you choose to meet in the Hollows?
We're musicians. Practice space is expensive, so we go out into the wasteland where we can play without disturbing anyone.
What do you play?
Flute. It's right here, see?
I've never seen one for real. It looks expensive.
So can I go through, or?
Well, I guess it should be fine. I'll tell the null gate operator to ignore the flute when we scan you. You know trade into and out of the Hollows is forbidden, right? We'll let you off with the instrument, but you can't take anything else in there. This all you got? No contraband?
Only the flute, nothing else.
Okay, drive on.
We don't really know Rob Banks.
No one does. He's fictional.
Which instrument does he play?
Whichever you like best, Camus.
I like viola.
Come on,
No
let me...
one likes viola.
Please stay for a moment, miss. We need to talk with you.
Oh no, it has all gone wrong.
Shush, Camus. Keep your cool.
I have Senior Sector Officer Rio on my comm. He says you went through a security checkpoint earlier today. He wants to know why you're traveling around the city so much.
Is that illegal?
Look, miss, I just work the gates, but I have to tell you that attitude won't go down well with Officer Rio. Best just be upfront and tell us. Do you work for an illicit mem-chip manufacturer? Street racing team? An underworld gang named Block 4O, or a delivery company like CloudPunk?
Please, tell your boss I've never heard of any of them. I play private concerts and I'm very busy, so I travel around a lot.
One moment, please. Yes, sir. Yes, private concerts. She has a flute. Yes, I saw it. I'm about to check the scan, sir, but you called me before I looked at it. I know it's my responsibility. All right, sir.
So?
I'm just going to check the scan, then you're clear to go.
I'm sure it will be clear. I'm in kind of a rush.
I'm just going to check the scan, then you're clear to go.
Okay, okay, we know.
Officer?
I'm just going to check the scan, then you're clear to go.
I see.
Camus, I think Rubric's plan worked.
What is wrong with him?
I don't know. Let's go.
So do I go through here? No. Okay. I have to actually take the hover. Where do... Oh, I actually go through here.
Do you think the Corpsec man will be okay?
I don't know, Camus. They said the effects would be temporary.
What is the package we are delivering?
Oh, wow. We're going to a completely different area now. The Wastelands. Never been here.
Lomo said it's a cure for Pallid 3.0. I don't know what that is. Maybe a computer virus?
I could search again.
We got in enough trouble last time we did that, Camus. Every time I ask a question, I don't like the answer. And the asking always gets me in more trouble. Let's try to be a bit less curious.
Can I go through there?
The delivery point is up ahead. Oh no, I can't get through.
It's fine, Camus. I'll walk from here. Setting down.
Oh, these are the parking spaces here. Right, let me park. Can I park? No. Where do I park? Oh, I'm an idiot. Parking is here. Yeah, so this game looks... I mean, without me recording like half a Let's Play, this game looks extremely nice, very good. The flying is okay. The voice acting is very hit and miss. I really wish it had dialogue options. I think that would be almost a requirement. The bigger thing is, with this beautiful environment, which really sort of immerses you in the cyberpunk world, it's kind of let down by the narrative. Not just the voice acting, but the narrative itself. It's got a very sort of weird, tongue-in-cheek, everyone's an idiot kind of narrative. You know, that's the Corpsec officer was okay, but another one was like a complete buffoon, and a lot of other people are kind of buffoons as well. It does sort of take away from the experience. For me personally, that is. I mean, I would just prefer a much more serious narrative than it is, because it does seem that the overarching story is a little bit more serious. But, yeah. So it might sound like I'm just complaining about this game, and definitely it has quite a few shortcomings. But I still think it's it's really nice in a way. If you like just a bit of a story and cyberpunk and just flying around like that, like in Fifth Element, you're probably going to enjoy this quite a bit. And, you know, if the developer keeps patching some of the things, maybe, well, adding dialogue options would be a bit of a difficult thing to do, I think. But yeah, I think he could definitely still improve this. So I'll leave it at that. I won't give you a recommendation or a non-recommendation of the game. I've given you the positives and the negatives. But like I said, this is basically what you do. You fly around, you pick up packages, you talk to people, you buy some things. You do have an inventory, like I said. Most of the stuff I haven't really found a use for. I think the cherry pie does give you, it over there, it does give you some speed boost, I suppose. Even though it's got questionable cherries in there. And yeah, the story can get a little bit interesting, the main story. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little sort of preview review. And I will see you in another video. Thanks for watching. MetalCanyon out.